What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. Guys, I covered a story last week of a horrific girl fight, high school girls at that, involving two young people, 16-year-old Kaylee Gain and 15-year-old Mernice DeClure. Got into a fight, turned into a melee, a bunch of kids slapping, kicking each other. And 16-year-old Kaylee Gain sustained horrific injuries when her head was pushed against the pavement, smashed against the pavement several times. And I wanted to speak a little bit about, an update about how she's doing. And it's not good, guys. It's not. I want to show you this video real quick. And I'm going to come back and read you an article that has a lot more information in it about her condition. If anybody needs prayers right now, is this young lady right here. Regardless of the fight and what you thought about it, this stuff got to stop, especially young ladies fighting. That is an unattractive trait, and it's something that shouldn't be. Man, just look, y'all.
After a video of teens fighting in Hazelwood went viral, the video shows a girl slam another girl's head into the ground over and over again. That happened Friday. Today, we learned the girl critically injured in that fight near Hazelwood East is 16-year-old Kaylee Gain. Justina Cornell joined us now in studio with more information from Kaylee's family. Justina.
Mike, I spoke with her grandpa earlier today on the phone. He tells me his 16-year-old granddaughter needs support. There are 2 online fundraisers up and running right now, and they have already raised more than $100,000.
Why is there someone recording a fight like this and not calling for help?
Dr. Leslie Davis watched video of the horrific fight as a 15-year-old slammed 16-year-old Kaylee Gain's head into the ground several times near Hazelwood East High School last week.
Just seeing her laying on the ground helpless, and how there was an outbreak of other fights around her, and she's just laying there. It seemed like she was very, very hurt physically, but no one was coming to help her. No one checked on her.
2 online fundraisers are supporting Kaylee Gain. The GoFundMe say the teen fractured her skull and has frontal lobe damage. She also has brain bleeding and swelling, and the family won't know the extent of the brain damage until she wakes up.
My advice to parents is to encourage your youth to speak up.
Dr. Davis works with teens to prevent violence. She believes social media and the pandemic could be playing a role in the disturbing trend of fights.
Bullying started to increase and violence in schools started to increase. And I think most of that is because they didn't have any connection. And so once they get into a place where they're forced to connect again, when there's conflict and they don't have the communication skills, then they engage in violence. So that seems to be a natural response to the way that they need to express how they're feeling.
She said violence is learned behavior and adults can set an example.
The way that we resolve conflict in person with our youth around us, they're picking up on those behaviors, they're picking up on those patterns. And so if we don't want youth to engage in violence or to engage in hateful actions, we also have to be mindful of our own responses to conflict.
15-year-old girl is in custody in connection to the fight and is being held in the juvenile court system. We learned today there will likely be a hearing in the next few weeks to decide if the 15-year-old will be tried as an adult. As far as support for the hospitalized teen, we have links to the GoFundMes on our website. You can head to ksdk.com and go to the section as seen on TV.
All right, guys, I want to read this article from the New York Post. And this girl right here is fighting hard for her life. And it says as follows: Kaylee Gain suffered a brain bleed and still has not regained consciousness after a brutal attack. The Missouri teen, who was mercilessly beat after school earlier this month, has yet to regain consciousness 10 days after the incident. Her stricken parents revealed in their first public statement on Monday. Kaylee Gain, 16, had her head repeatedly pounded on the pavement in the stomach-churning March 8th assault near Hazelwood East High School in Spanish Lake, Missouri, outside of St. Louis. She suffered a fractured skull, resulting in life-threatening brain swelling and bleeding, according to the family attorney, Brian Camara. The full scope and extent of Kaylee's injuries and prognosis for recovery cannot be determined until, with God's grace, she regains consciousness. And the family asks that you continue to keep Kaylee in your thoughts and prayers as she continues to recover, he wrote in a statement. An attorney for Gaines' combatant also released a statement Monday, asserting that his honor roll client is in the school orchestra and a member of the volleyball team. I believe all of the facts and circumstances of this incident are not appropriate to discuss at this time when another child is in such a critical condition, Gregory Smith said. Those facts and circumstances will have their day in court. I join the call to denounce teen violence and bullying. And most importantly, I join my client and her family in extending our prayers for this family and their child. Video of the incident shows the teen and another girl exchanging blows before Gaines falls to the ground. Her attacker can then be seen raining blows down on her before another girl briefly enters the fray and appears to punch Gaines' attacker before being pulled away. The team Gain originally clashed with then repeatedly slammed Gaines' head into the asphalt, leaving her twitching and convulsing in the street as onlookers gawk at the violence. Police later took an unidentified 15-year-old girl into custody. Charges have not been divulged because she is a minor. Camara said Gaines' relatives will eventually focus on the criminal case, but remain consumed with her dire medical condition. Although the family would like to seek justice to eventually serve through the legal system, their focus at this time is dedicated exclusively to Kaylee's victory, he said. Two GoFundMe accounts have already raised more than $340,000 to aid in Gaines' recovery. Her mother and father are staying by her side night and day, hoping to bring her back to the Kaylee they know and love, the fundraiser posting states. Your support would help with the lost wages and piling up of medical bills due to intensive care treatment. The family has cautioned against any retaliatory attacks in the wake of the incident and have called on parents to discuss the impact of violence with their children. In closing, Kaylee's parents ask everyone in the community continue to pray for her full recovery, and it is hopeful that the publicity associated with this entirely unnecessary event makes other teenagers realize that momentary violent actions can have life-altering consequences, they say. Lawmakers have called for Gaines' assailant to face maximum consequences for the shocking assault. The criminal should be charged and tried as an adult. If the victim dies, that offense should rise to a homicide, Attorney General Andrew Bailey wrote. Those involved in the beating must be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law, Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe added, calling the assault an example of a complete disregard for human life. Guys, that's the story. And, like I said, keep this young lady in their prayers. Because, they're saying she got brain damage and everything else. And people not playing with this. They serious about it. That was a horrific video. If you guys never seen the video, you could hear her skull crunch. After that first hit, you could hear it crack. And the barbarism of that was surprising to me. Here they are, a 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl. They said the 15-year-old girl that one that bashed her head on the ground, Mernice, was in the honor roll and played sports. So explain this to me, how it came to what was so bad that y'all had to fight like that. Well, y'all had to fight, period. I was talking about this before. Men don't like women that fight. You know what I'm saying? And only idiots would watch that stuff. Long time ago, women get to acting crazy. Guys would break it up. Don't nobody want no woman with scars on their face. You see what I'm saying? Being a warrior and all that stuff, that ain't cool. It's not an attractive trait. No man out here has on his checklist for meeting a good woman is whether she can throw hands or not. I don't know what was so bad that these young people had to take it to that level. And then like nowadays, like there's no pullback. There's no like you fighting somebody and all of a sudden, you know, okay, I see something's wrong. I didn't mean to hurt them. They kept going with the situation. And what messed up this 15-year-old girl, Mernice, and has everybody up in arms about it is the fact that the girl was in the seizure. She was so hell-bent on like causing destruction. She didn't even notice that the girl was hurt, because there was one part where she looked and seen the girl was on the ground. They were fighting on top of her. Everybody started fighting. It was a mess. Then the girl Mernice got punched in the face by somebody that was out there that had nothing to do with the fight at one time. If you go and look back at that video, if it's still out, sickening, man. She didn't mean to kill her, but she meant to hurt her because they was fighting. I don't think she meant to kill her, but I mean, you put yourself in a position at a young age that your parents can't even get your back. That's my thing. I would tell my kids, I said, man, don't ever put yourself in a position where I can't help you. Here it is, a 15 and 16-year-old girl, got the rest of their life ahead of them. Probably got prom and stuff set up later on, and probably had boyfriends and stuff. Man, I thought this was in St. Louis. They said it was close to St. Louis, but shout out St. Louis all the same, in the place where this is from. But the lady said, why is it that these kids would fight and nobody would render aid and stuff? Because they're used to watching these knockout fighting videos and laughing at people on the ground convulsing and being knocked out and people making jokes about it. That's why the desensitization, like you said, ma'am, in social media is driving people outside of their human element of understanding and empathy. They keep mentioning bullying. We still don't know what this fight was about. But I do know this, and I said this in my last video, that girl should have known better. You ain't gonna go out there, here you is a white girl, you gonna go out there around all them black folk and fight and think somebody got your back out there. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. As a woman, you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. Men like women that are sweet, soft, comforting, not brash, barbaric, and just battle-born. It's like we are so far removed from our masculine side and feminine side as people, period. They're saying they trying to push her for the full extent of the law. I can't say I don't blame them, because if that happened to my daughter, I would be furious. And a lot of you would be too. I give the family credit. They ain't said nothing bad about the little girl that did that. They say we worrying about this. The main thing is if our daughter gets back on her feet, because she's going through it, y'all. She's going through it. We worried about this. Then we'll worry about that, because this right here is a more pressing need. Our daughter needs us. Them people ain't going to work. Them people are sitting home. Now, granted, the community, and they have a GoFundMe up, and it's helping with the medical bills, which are racking up. I got to respect them. They ain't came out and said nothing bad yet. They let the lawyer speak for them. And the lawyer still said, you know what I'm saying? There are some people out there, and it would be their right to get on TV and just bash this young girl. These people are showing reserve. I wish them the best. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope she pulls through. 16 years old, ain't even discovered anything worth value yet as a young lady or an adult. And man, should never had it happen. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.